Hey, something weird is happening out there. The shelves are looking suspiciously empty, and I don't mean the usual suspects like eggs during a bird flu scare or toilet paper in 2020. No, this time it's different. The economy is doing a little cha-cha slide in the wrong direction, and suddenly everyday grocery items are pulling a disappearing act. I set out on what I thought would be a simple shopping trip, only to find that certain essentials had gone. Poof, just vanished from every store like they were part of some underground black market trade. But before I talk about these items, make sure that you're subscribed to our channel so that you can enjoy more of our videos and know what you can grab from the stores. So what is going on? Is this the beginning of some weird grocery apocalypse? Are we all about to start bartering for peanut butter and pasta like it's medieval times? Well, buckle up, because I tried to buy these items and they were nowhere to be found. Number 1, orange juice. Uh-oh, folks, our breakfast tables might be in trouble. The golden, pulpy goodness of orange juice, that bright and tangy companion to eggs and toast, it's slipping into endangered territory. That's right, the days of casually grabbing a gallon of OJ from the fridge, they might be numbered. Why? Well, because orange groves across the U.S. are under attack from a mighty but tiny villain, citrus greening disease. Now, this nasty bacterial infection, spread by sneaky little insects, is wreaking havoc on orange trees, turning once thriving groves into sad, fruitless wastelands. And if that wasn't enough, unpredictable weather patterns are also throwing a tantrum, making things even harder for farmers. With lower yields and higher production costs, the price of orange juice is creeping up, and it's not stopping anytime soon. Now, according to NPR, Florida's orange production has hit historic lows, and experts are sounding the alarm. If this trend continues, we might have to start treating OJ like a rare vintage wine instead of that casual morning drink. Imagine walking into the grocery store, seeing orange juice locked behind a glass case, and having to ask an employee for assistance. It's like a high-ticket luxury item. And this isn't just an economic problem, it's a cultural crisis. Orange juice is an MVP of breakfast. It's the reason we tolerate cereal. It's the thing that makes mimosas magical. It's practically a personality trait in some households. So what happens when those bright, cheerful cartons start disappearing? Well, farmers and researchers are working hard to fight back. They're developing disease-resistant orange trees and experimenting with new techniques to save the citrus industry. The progress, it's slow, and the battle is far from over. Until then, we might have to start rationing our juice, savoring every last sip like it's liquid gold. So the next time you take a big old swig of OJ, appreciate it, because in the not-so-distant future, it might just become a breakfast delicacy. Number 2, canned tuna. And just when you thought your breakfast was in trouble, let's talk about lunch, because tuna, that trusty pantry staple, is also at risk of vanishing from store shelves. Yeah, the humble can of tuna, that MVP of quick meals, tuna melts, and kind of sad desk sandwiches, is in serious trouble. The culprit? Overfishing. The global demand for tuna, especially bluefin tuna, has pushed populations to dangerously low levels. According to National Geographic, overfishing has taken such a toll that international experts are waving red flags and calling for stricter fishing regulations. But here's the kicker. Even with conservation efforts, it's tough to keep up with the world's insatiable appetite for this flaky, protein-packed fish. And to keep up with dwindling supplies, some brands are quietly shrinking portion sizes. So if your canned tuna starts looking a little too light, it's not your imagination. Others are nudging consumers towards alternative fish options like mackerel and sardines, which, let's be honest, just don't hit the same. And if you thought the future was all about lab-grown tuna or plant-based substitutes, think again. While these options are making waves, get it, they also come with a hefty price tag, making them a tough sell for many customers. Plus, let's be real, nothing beats the convenience of cracking open a can of the real thing. But this isn't just about switching up your lunch plans. The decline of tuna impacts entire industries, from fisheries to global supply chains. If overfishing continues at this pace, canned tuna could go from a cheap and easy meal to a rare luxury item. Imagine a world where you have to bid on a can of tuna at an auction. Dark times, my friend. So the next time you whip up a tuna salad, enjoy it, because if things don't change, it might just be a throwback meal from the past. Number 3, peanut butter. And if losing orange juice at breakfast and tuna at lunch wasn't bad enough, now we have to talk about peanut butter. Yes, the lifeblood of PB&J's, the glue that holds our childhood memories together, and the secret ingredient that makes smoothies, cookies, and straight-from-the-jar spoonfuls so irresistible. It could be slipping away. Now, the problem is that Mother Nature's not playing nice. Climate change is throwing peanut crops into chaos, with unpredictable weather patterns wreaking havoc on yields in major growing states like Georgia and Alabama. Droughts, heat waves, and floods are also making it harder for farmers to keep up, meaning fewer peanuts making it to store shelves. And those that do come with a heftier price tag. But that's not all. The rising rate of peanut allergies have also put a dent in demand, leading some farmers to just switch to different crops. So, between nature throwing a fit and shifting consumer preferences, the peanut butter supply chain is feeling the squeeze. According to The Guardian, these combined factors are causing price hikes and supply shortages, leaving peanut butter manufacturers scrambling. In response, some brands are pushing alternatives like almond butter or sunflower seed butter, but let's be real, those just don't slap the same on a PB&J. Plus, they're way more expensive, making it tough for families who rely on peanut butter as an affordable protein source. Efforts are underway to engineer more resilient peanut varieties, but until those hit the market, peanut butter could start inching closer to luxury item status. Imagine walking into a store and seeing peanut butter locked up like fine jewelry, a world where we have to treat PB like a rare delicacy. Absolutely unacceptable. So the next time you make yourself a peanut butter sandwich, just take a moment to appreciate it, because in the near future, that perfect balance of creamy, nutty goodness, it might just become a priceless commodity. Number 4, packaged salad greens. Just when you thought your fridge was safe, now we have to talk about salad. Yeah, that's right. Your pre-washed grab-and-go bag of leafy greens, it's on the chopping block. And it's all thanks to severe droughts in California. California, the salad capital of the U.S., is dealing with serious water shortages, and farmers are being forced to make some tough calls. With limited resources, they're prioritizing high-value crops like almonds over humble lettuce and spinach. And the result? Well, fewer packaged salads, higher prices, and more sad-looking produce aisles. According to USA Today, it's not just the droughts that cause trouble, it's the rising cost of labor, transportation, and supply chain hiccups from the pandemic, having all made it harder for grocers to keep fresh greens in stock. So if you've noticed your favorite salad mix missing, it's not bad luck, it's the new normal. Now, some shoppers are getting creative, turning to farmers markets or even growing their own greens at home. And while futuristic vertical farming does sound like the answer, it's still not widespread enough to save the day just yet. So if you're someone who actually enjoys eating salad, or at least buys it with good intentions before it wilts in the fridge, now might be the time to cherish every last leaf, because at this rate, a fresh, crisp salad could soon become the hottest commodity in the produce aisle. Number 5, potato chips. Now, if losing orange juice, tuna, peanut butter, and salad wasn't stressful enough, now your potatoes are in trouble. That's right, the backbone of the snack industry. The reason for fries, chips, and everything good in the world. It's under attack. The culprit? A nasty little pathogen called late blight, a fungus-like disease that absolutely thrives in warm, wet conditions. This menace has been wiping out potato crops left and right, and when you combine that with extreme weather, think droughts, floods, and general climate chaos, farmers are left with smaller, less reliable harvests. According to the BBC, this potato problem is hitting the snack industry hard. Major chip brands are shrinking bag sizes, cranking up prices, and scrambling to find ways to offset rising production costs. You ever open a bag of chips and thought, wow, this is mostly air? Well, brace yourself, because that ratio, it's only going to get worse. Some companies are even experimenting with alternative starches like cassava and lentils to keep that crunchy snack game alive. But come on, let's be honest, nothing ever is going to hit like a classic salty, greasy potato chip. And for die-hard chip lovers, this is a full-blown crisis. Rising costs and dwindling supplies can mean that your favorite snack becomes harder to find or just way too expensive to justify. If potato farming keeps taking hits, we might have to start rationing our chips like they're a rare delicacy. Or worse, face a world where the only potato chips left are overpriced, sad imposters. So the next time you're munching on that bag of chips, savor it, because at this rate, the future of snacking, it's looking crispy, but not in a good way. Number 6, coffee beans. Now for the most devastating news possibly of them all. Coffee is in danger. Yes, the sacred morning ritual, the fuel of civilization, the one thing standing between us and complete chaos. It's at risk of becoming a luxury item. And the problem? Climate change, pests, and diseases like coffee leaf rust are hitting coffee crops hard. Arabica beans, the gold standard of smooth, flavorful coffee, are particularly sensitive to rising temperatures and unpredictable rainfall. According to the Washington Post, production is declining in key regions like Brazil and Ethiopia. And when coffee supplies shrink, prices go way up. Now, farmers are trying to fight back by experimenting with hardier coffee varieties. But here's the catch. They don't taste as good. So while we might still have coffee in the future, it may not be that rich, delicious cup that we know and love. And if that wasn't enough, supply chain disruptions and labor shortages are also pushing prices higher, meaning that your daily caffeine fix could soon cost as much as a fancy cocktail. Imagine walking into your local coffee shop and realizing your usual latte costs more than your lunch. So what can we coffee lovers do? while experts recommend supporting sustainable brands that prioritize environmentally friendly farming and fair trade practices. But even with these efforts, one thing's clear: our relationship with coffee is about to get way more expensive. So sip the next cup slowly, savor every drop, because if things keep heading this way, your beloved caffeine boost might become a rare, indulgent treat rather than a daily essential. Number 7, beef products. And if you thought losing coffee was rough, brace yourself, because beef is on the chopping block. That's right, steaks, burgers, tacos, and everything that makes backyard barbecues worth it. It can soon become way harder to get. Why? Well, the beef industry is under attack from every direction. Rising feed costs, water shortages, and growing concerns about methane emissions, that's right, cows' farts, have made traditional cattle farming more expensive and less sustainable. According to Forbes, grocery stores are already stocking less beef and instead nudging consumers toward plant-based or lab-grown alternatives. Now, sure, the meatless movement is gaining traction, but let's be real, no matter how good a plant-based burger gets, it's not the same as sinking your teeth into a juicy, perfectly grilled steak. And while lab-grown meat does sound futuristic, it's still a long way off from replacing the real deal. Now, in the meantime, beef shortages are driving prices sky high. That means your favorite burger joint might start charging gourmet prices for a basic cheeseburger. Or worse, swap it out for a sustainable protein patty, whatever that means. If things keep trending this way, beef could go from a dinnertime staple to an occasional indulgence. Imagine a world where a classic burger is as rare as caviar, a luxury item that you can splurge on once in a while instead of a regular go-to. So the next time you fire up that grill, enjoy the burger, because in the not-so-distant future, a beef-filled plate might be a thing of the past. Number 8. Canned soups. And just when you thought your emergency stash of comfort food was safe, now canned soup is slipping away. That's right, the reliable, ready-to-heat cold weather lifesaver that's been there through flu seasons, lazy nights, and questionable cooking skills is suddenly harder to find. Why? Well, supply chain chaos and skyrocketing demand. During the pandemic, people panic-bought soup like it was liquid gold, and manufacturers still haven't caught up. According to Food Dive, soup producers are cutting back on variety, sticking to their best sellers while quietly shelving more niche flavors. So if you're a fan of that oddly specific lentil kale turmeric blend, sorry, rest in peace to your favorite soup. And it's not just the soup itself. Tin prices and transportation costs have also jumped, making canned goods more expensive to produce and ship. Less variety, fewer cans, higher prices. It's a recipe for disappointment. Now, some soup lovers are getting creative, turning to frozen soups or DIY homemade versions, but let's be real. Nothing beats the crack of a can opening when you need a quick, cozy meal. If inflation keeps simmering, even those alternatives might not be as budget-friendly as they used to be. So the next time you spot your favorite soup in stock, maybe grab an extra can, because in the near future, it might be super rare. Ha! Get it? Yeah, it's not funny. Number 9, maple syrup. And now we have to talk about a true breakfast tragedy. Maple syrup is in trouble. That's right, the liquid gold that turns pancakes, waffles, and French toast into pure magic is becoming harder to produce and more expensive to buy. The culprit? Well, climate change is messing with the sugar maple trees. Warmer temperatures are throwing off that delicate process that allows sap to flow, meaning producers have to tap trees earlier and for shorter periods. The result? Less syrup, higher prices, and a very sad stack of dry pancakes. According to CNN, maple syrup prices have already spiked, and the problem isn't just trees. Land and labor costs are also making it tough for small-scale producers to stay in business. Now, while big syrup operations are trying to use technology to keep things flowing, syrup robots, anyone? It's still not enough to fully combat Mother Nature's meddling. So what does this mean for the average breakfast lover? Well, if things keep going this way, your beloved bottle of syrup might start shrinking in size while skyrocketing in price. Imagine going to the store and seeing maple syrup locked up like fine whiskey, or having to ration out every precious drop like it's the last of your coffee supply, which again is also in trouble. For those who refuse to accept a future of dry, joyless waffles and pancakes, now may be the time to stock up or get creative. Some people are turning to honey, agave, even artificial syrups. Ugh. But let's be honest, nothing truly compares to the rich, velvety goodness of real maple syrup. So the next time you drizzle that sweet perfection over a fresh pancake stack, take a moment to appreciate it, because at this rate, maple syrup may go from a breakfast staple to a rare golden delicacy. Number 10, avocados. And now, for the most heartbreaking news of all, avocados are in serious trouble. That's right, the beloved toast topper, guacamole maker, and brunch MVP, it's becoming harder to grow, harder to find, and way more expensive. The problem? Water, water, water. Avocados drink like they just ran a marathon in the desert, requiring up to 70 gallons of water per fruit. Yes, per avocado. And with severe droughts hitting major growing regions like Mexico and California, that water just isn't there. According to Reuters, these shortages, along with rising transportation costs, are making avocados more of a luxury than a grocery staple. And just when you thought it couldn't get worse, export restrictions and supply chain chaos are adding even more hurdles, meaning fewer avocados making it to stores and sticker shock prices when they do. You know that moment when you pick up an avocado, you glance at the price and reconsider your life choices? Yeah, that feeling is going to become way more common. Farmers are already working on more sustainable growing methods, but these solutions are still in the early stages. In the meantime, guacamole fans might have to get creative. Maybe swap in hummus, mush peas, or other veggie-based spreads, but come on, nothing's going to replace an avocado. So the next time you see a perfectly ripe avocado, don't take it for granted. That little green gem is only getting rarer and pricier. And by this rate, by the time you can afford one again, it might already be too ripe to use. Number 11, specialty cheeses. And now for a truly gut-wrenching development, the world of fancy cheese is under attack. Ah, yes, the days of casually indulging in a creamy brie, a funky blue, or truffle-infused masterpiece, it might be numbered, as artisan cheesemakers struggle to keep up with rising costs. The issue? Well, everything about cheesemaking is getting more expensive. Milk prices are climbing, energy costs are soaring, and climate change is messing with dairy farming, which means fewer high-quality ingredients to work with. According to Cheese Market News, some cheese brands are already scaling back production, and certain niche flavors are disappearing from store shelves. But hey, don't panic. Basic cheeses like cheddar and mozzarella are safe for now. But if you love small batch specialty cheeses, it may be time to start savoring every bite, because those might become rare, high-priced delicacies. And just when cheese lovers thought it couldn't get worse, the rise of plant-based diets is shifting toward vegan cheese alternatives. It's an atrocity. Now, while some of these are decent, shout out to that cashew-based crowd, let's be honest, nothing's going to replace the real thing. For true cheese connoisseurs like myself, this isn't just about the price hikes, it's about losing the diversity and creativity that makes the cheese world so incredible. I'm trying to imagine a charcuterie board that's just fake cheddar, crackers, and disappointment. So the next time you splurge on a wheel of that triple cream camembert or a tête de moine, remember that you're not just buying cheese, you're holding on to a piece of history. Because if these trends continue, the only place you'll see artisanal cheese is in food documentaries and your most cherished memories. And number 12, chocolate. And now for perhaps the most devastating news of all, chocolate is in danger. Yeah, that's right. The universally loved, mood-boosting, heartbreak-healing, snack-time essential is facing a very uncertain future. But why? Well, because cacao farms are in trouble. Deforestation, relentless pests, and worsening labor shortages are making it harder and harder to produce chocolate. Even the biggest brands, Hershey's, Mars, and others, are scrambling to invest in sustainable farming initiatives. But as the New York Times points out, these changes take time, money, and a whole lot of effort. In the meantime, chocolate lovers are already feeling the squeeze. Prices are creeping up, and if you notice your favorite candy bar seeming smaller than it used to be, you're not imagining it. Companies are quietly shrinking portion sizes while keeping prices the same. That's betrayal. Now, there is hope, though. Scientists are experimenting with lab-grown cacao, and fair trade initiatives are pushing for better farming conditions. But let's be honest, if we're heading toward a future where chocolate is some rare, expensive luxury, that's a world that none of us are prepared for. So the next time you unwrap a perfectly melty piece of chocolate, enjoy it, savor it. Because if things keep going this way, a simple chocolate fix might soon cost as much as a fancy bottle of wine. So there you have it. The grocery aisle, it's starting to feel more like a scavenger hunt than a shopping trip. From vanishing orange juice to skyrocketing chocolate prices, it's clear that the foods that we once tossed into our carts without a second thought are slowly slipping away. You can blame it on climate change, supply chain chaos, rising production costs, or just plain bad luck. But one thing's for sure, the way that we eat is changing fast. Today it's maple syrup and avocados, and tomorrow, who knows? Will coffee be the next rare luxury? Will cheese lovers have to trade their brie for plant-based alternatives? I hope not. And are we heading toward a future where a simple peanut butter and jelly sandwich is like a 5-star gourmet meal? What can we do? We can stockpile our favorite snacks like doomsday preppers. Okay. We can support sustainable brands. And we can cry into an empty peanut butter jar, maybe? I'm not sure. But the biggest takeaway, just appreciate the foods that you love while they're still around. Now, maybe it's time to savor every sip of fresh orange juice or enjoy every bite of your favorite chocolate bar. And for the love of all things delicious, never let a perfectly ripe avocado go to waste. Because if these trends continue, the next time you go looking for your favorite foods, it just might be gone for good.